Got a really interesting project on today. You can probably just make it out in my rucksack there. So we've been doing a little bit on our cottage, and this is a little bit of trim that I'm going to do some carving on. So we're walking now up towards the carving bench up in the woods. It's a lovely morning, it's really warm, but we've only got until about lunchtime today because they tell us thunderstorms are on their way. So I'll catch up with you when we get up to the bench. So this is the piece of oak that I'm working on today. It's an old wardrobe plinth, and it's going to go over one of our fireplaces. Our fireplaces are quite plain at home. I always thought that they needed a little trim over the top. So this is what we're going to go with. We've been gifted this piece of wood, and it was an old, like I say, it was an old wardrobe that I've taken this off of. So this is the bit that I've drawn in so far, and this is just a practice board, so I've had a go at the idea that I've had in my head for it. So these lines here, it starts off thin, gets wider here, and then eventually we'll come back over it and I'll put this pattern in. So we'll chip carve in between here, and then we'll have this as a line that runs right the way through the middle of it. So this pattern, normally if you're doing it on a nice straight piece of wood, you can use a standard compass and just go along and join these lines together. So just do semicircles, and it all adds up. But unfortunately, because this is such a bendy piece of wood, none of these are lining up for me. So what I'm having to do is to freehand some of it. So I'm drawing in the first part, and then obviously these bits don't line up. So I'm drawing a line here and then freehanding it in. So extending one bit, shortening another, so yeah, so it all adds up. So this wood turned out to be a lot drier than I was hoping it was going to be. I don't actually think it's as old as we were led to believe either, because there's some joins in it It looks like it's been bonded, so I don't know when they started doing that, but it certainly wasn't the end of the 1700s, I wouldn't have thought. I'm not saying that it was definitely kiln dried, but it's very, very dry, so it could have been that it's been in a really hot house for many, many years. But what that means is that to get the detail I was hoping to get, it's really difficult, and it's starting to chip. So this is what I was hoping to achieve with this. This is beech wood that the practice board's made out of. And I was hoping to go nice and deep with some chip carving like this. This pattern that I've developed with this chip carving is a pattern on its own, so it's okay to leave it like this, and I think it'll look okay. It'll look quite nice on this piece of wood, so I think we're going to have to just stick with that and not be quite so ambitious as I was hoping to be. What I've done is I flipped over this board, because as soon as I started to chip carve it, you could feel that it was starting to break. And although some bits I've managed to get some quite good detail on, as you can see here, it's just breaking out for the bigger stuff. So it's got weird cracks and splits and lines and all sorts in it. There's a split underneath here as well, so it would look quite messy if I tried to achieve all of that. Well, that turned into be a bit of a headache. I'd like to say I'd sat here and it was a really relaxing carve, but it really wasn't. It put up a fight. But this bone's a bit of done now. I'm going to take it back to the workshop and give it another really good clean up. Might go over it again just to tidy it up a little bit, because some of the cuts are a little bit furry and stuff. We'll give it a good old sand and an oil, and I think it'll look okay. Wasn't quite the detail I was hoping to get into it, but sometimes you've got what you've got and you have to work with the wood you have. So I decided to go in deeper with the existing design, as it was about the best I could achieve with the dryness of the wood. The real star of the show here was this lovely piece of shaped oak. I was really determined to get something interesting out of it. It just goes to show, even if the original plan doesn't work out, flexibility and perseverance pays off in the end.